guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my February wrap-up and my March TBR. It's crazy that we are already getting into March. I had a great start in January with reading, and February started off well, but then towards the middle of February I didn't read as much as I did at the beginning, but then towards the end, like the last week in February, I ended up reading a lot more. So I only did read 3 books. One of them was quite chunky, over 100 pages, so it kind of makes up for, you know, the other 2 books being a little bit smaller. Actually, no, they're not that small. The other one was like 400 pages, and I think, yeah, the other 2 are like over 400 pages. So the first book I'm going to mention is Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. This is the second book in the Truth Witch, or the Truthland, Witchlands series. Truth Witch was the first one, and I did a spoil-free review, which I will link down below. I didn't like this one as much as I did the first one. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I really don't want to spoil anything with the first book, but for this one, I gave it about a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a little slow at first for me, but towards the end, it got a lot better. Now, I will say this, if you have not read Truth Witch, I'm going to put spoiler across so you know to mute this part, and then you can unmute it when the words disappear. So, spoiler, I think the reason I didn't like this book as much is because all the characters are separated, and I think that's what dragged the book on so long. We had so many different, originally we had different point of views, but the characters ended up merging together, you know, like we had Isolde, Safi, and Merrick on the ship together. Well, in this one, we've got so many different point of views. We've got Vivia's, we've got Merrick, we have Isolde, we have Adawan's, Safi, and they're all separated, so we're following different settings and different point of views, and personally I like when all the characters are together, so I think maybe that's why it was a little slower for me. Okay, so end of spoiler. And this book was 377 pages. The next 2 books I read in February are the last 2 books in the Lunar Chronicle series, Cress being book 3 and Winter being book 4. I did listen to audiobook and read them like kind of at the same time, and I really enjoyed the audiobooks of the Lunar Chronicles. So if that's something, you know, if you're interested in listening to them, I think it's one of the better audiobooks that I have listened to. Now, of course, I'm not going to go into too much details because this is book 3 and 4, but I have to say these books are amazing. When I first started the Lunar Chronicles, when I first read Cinder, I couldn't get into it like everyone else did. Like, I liked the idea of it. I liked the fact that it was fairy tale retellings. I liked it. I ended up, I think, giving it like a 4 out of 5 stars, but I didn't love it like everyone else did. Then I got into Scarlet, and I was like, wow, this story has great potential. And then after reading Cress, which is book 3, and this is the retelling of Rapunzel, I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. The ending was fantastic. Was not expecting the ending at all. The story gets better and better. And then I picked up Winter, and this is actually an 800-page book, even though it doesn't look like an 800-page book. It is. Cress has 550 pages, and Winter has like 834 pages, 823 pages. It is phenomenal. 5 out of 5 stars. I loved this story. It doesn't get boring. There's so much that happens. There's so much suspense, and it's funny how, like, characters that you thought were bad in Cress, you get points of view in Winter, and they turned out, you know, they're not really bad, but they're not really good. They're like, they have their own conflict, and they're battling their own war, and so it's fantastic. I highly recommend it. Now I see why everyone loved this series. It is so good. I think I'm going to do a review on this entire series, maybe not each individual book, because I don't necessarily remember like details from Cinder, so I might do like a review of all 4 of them. And these covers are so gorgeous. This cover is beautiful. I loved this series. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my 2017 TBR. I'm doing this a little bit differently. Instead of pulling out a book each month and that be the book I'm focusing on, I decided to choose 12 books that I really wanted to read in 2017. And every month I'm going to pick out the paper that corresponds to the book that I read, and at the end of the year I'm hoping that there's going to be like 0 papers in here. But I can't remember if any of the Lunar Chronicles are in here. Let's take a look. Okay, so yes, so there is Cress and Winter in my jar, so I can take actually both of those books out, and let me see how many papers I have left. I have 9, so that's actually pretty good. I'm pretty much like right on track of where I should be as far as, you know, dwindling down my TBR jar. Now, as for my March TBR, I'm not really sure what I am feeling for March. I do know that I really want to pick up Gemina, which is book 2 in the Illuminae files. I loved Illuminae. I just recently did a book review on it, so I think this is going to be kind of my main focus in March. And I also think I'm going to try and focus on the rest of the Starbound series, book 2 being This Shattered World, and book 3 being Their Fractured Light. I really loved these Broken Stars, and I did read This Shattered World about a year and a half ago when it had first came out, but I don't remember it, so I just kind of need to, like, you know, skim through it again. Alright guys, well that is it for this video. Comment down below and let me know some of the books that you read in February and the books that you plan on reading in March. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!